So today's topic is SAQ. What's an SAQ and how do I complete it, and how on earth does this relate to my freshman US history class? Now, to begin with, SAQ is an acronym. It stands for Short Answer Question. On all unit tests, recall that there's going to be an objective portion. Objective meaning matching multiple choice. The short answer question, or the SAQ, is that second part of the unit test where you are allowed to use notes. Any notes you've written or printed that you have done, anything from class that you have completed, you are allowed to use your notes to respond to SAQs using complete sentences. You have two choices, and you have to select one choice. Now, along with using complete sentences, each response should be one well-developed paragraph. Well-developed. One sentence isn't going to cut it, and a sentence fragment isn't going to get the job done either. Now, in terms of what this means when it says two choices, pick one. The format of the SAQ is as follows. You'll have your first choice of 3 prompts. So you can see first prompt, second prompt, third prompt, and then you'll have your second choice. What you need to do is select one of the 2 choices and answer all 3. What that means is overall, you'll have one well-developed paragraph for the first prompt, one for the second, and one for the third. So a total of 3 very well-developed paragraphs. So that's the format of an SAQ. Now, a tip that's very helpful for students is the acronym ACE. Now, what does ACE mean? How do I use it? The A stands for action, as in identify the action verb. Am I simply being asked to identify? Am I being asked to describe or explain or analyze? Describe, explain means go in more depth. Analyze is deeper level critical thinking. So you spot that action verb. You underline it, highlight it, whatever, so you understand what you're being asked to do. The C is for content. So action, verb, and then content. Outline the content you need to form a successful answer. I highly recommend taking 2 or 3 minutes. Find the content that the prompt is asking you to include and briefly sketch it out. Physically write down what you are going to need, and that part can be in bullet points when you're outlining. And then E, explain. So find the action verb, outline the content you need, and explain your response in a thorough manner that includes all parts of the prompt. This is when you tie it all together for that one well-developed paragraph per prompt. As a rule of thumb, and this is all based on when you get done with the first part of the test, but give yourself about 8 to 10 minutes to outline and write each prompt. And I'll say that again, there are 3 prompts. 8 to 10 minutes per prompt. You will get very proficient at this, the more we do it. So, 25 to 30 minutes minimum. If you get the SAQ and you find yourself done in 10 minutes, pause, go back, respond. Pause, go back, and add to your response, because that means there's not enough. Now, if we take a sample prompt, break it down. Describe the specific hardships and or conflicts that occurred when the English established North American colonies. Keep in mind that this is one prompt. This would be 1/3 of an SAQ. 3 of these equal 1 SAQ. Now, if we keep in line with this prompt, the action word is describe. Remember that describe means detailed. You have to go more in depth than a simple identification, so you need to describe something. The content you need to describe are hardships and or conflicts. And you need to include English North American colonies. Now this says hardships and or conflicts. Plural. There's an S for hardships, S for conflicts. Plural means a minimum of 2. So you can have 2 hardships, or you could have 2 conflicts, or 1 hardship and 1 conflict. Point being, the and or gives you wiggle room, and it needs to be plural. English North American colonies. Think Roanoke. Think Jamestown. Think Massachusetts Bay Colony, Plymouth, Rhode Island. Maybe it can be something that you read about, an additional colony we didn't cover as much, but you have background knowledge. You figure out what your content is. In this case, a couple of bullet points. What are the hardships? What are the conflicts? What are the colonies, plural? Plural, more than 1. What are the colonies that I need to include? And then explain. Tie it all together in complete sentences. If you respond to the prompt, include all parts of it in your answer using complete sentences, you're good to go. This is not necessarily a case of writing more is always better, because we are still looking for correct information. Your information needs to be accurate. That's why we want you to use notes. We want you to use resources and things you've done in class, because we definitely want you to have good, cohesive, well-developed responses. So again, that's an SAQ. Short answer question. Second part of the unit test, you'll have 2 choices, 3 prompts per choice. You select 1. So you're going to be writing a total of 3 well-developed paragraphs.